that's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
I asked this because you did it with Margarito.
Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terrence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rock?
Many people in the boxing world are warning Crawford that his decision to fight Canelo is one of the worst decisions he has ever made in his career. Terrence Crawford versus Saul Canelo Alvarez will finally happen after years of waiting. The fight between Crawford and Canelo will happen in Las Vegas on September 13 for Canelo's sole super middleweight world title. Both are thought to be 2 of the best pound-for-pound fighters of their generation, and they both know that losing could mean the end of their careers.
I'm going with Terrence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terrence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terrence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can.
Crawford has already been told by Amir Khan not to fight Canelo, in spite of being sure that he can do the job. The American has already said that the things about his opponent's style worrying him. Crawford has said that he is worried about Canelo's size and strength. Throughout the years, Canelo has become known for his strong shots. It's how the Mexican has won more than half of his fights, and, while Crawford isn't worried about facing him, the size difference is something he can't ignore. He told TMZ Sports in September 2024, "This fight is big. Definitely, you have to top 3 pound-for-pound fighters fighting against each other. I know Canelo is bigger than me, but I'm up for the fight. I believe it's a pretty interesting fight." While the statement exudes confidence, it also shows Crawford's strong recognition that he is not simply heading into another ring. This is a whole different situation. The gravity of the risk is real.
Clemens Crawford and Canelo.
I don't think that should happen. Look, I like Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast that way. Honestly, I would advise Crawford not to do that.
Juan Manuel Marquez, a Mexican boxing legend, did not mince words when asked about his forecast. In a social media video, Marquez asked his countrymen to defeat Crawford by more than just points. Terrence Crawford, in my opinion, is facing a scary fight. Maybe Canelo wins by knockout. It was as straight a prediction as you'd expect from someone with Marquez's experience. That co-forecast is not unique. Many people think Crawford will have a difficult time in this fight because of his physical characteristics.
I don't like the fight because Terrence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for And Terrence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight. But I think more. I remember when Terrence Crawford fought with Madrimo.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks we know.
In an interview with Ringside 24, super welterweight King Israel Madrimov repeated this idea, albeit more bluntly. Madrimov rejected Crawford's chances completely. Not even close, he said. Canelo is too strong and skilled for this weight class. Crawford is a fighter, but jumping up to 168 pounds offers a significant risk. Canelo's power and body shots will be frightening for him. I don't see it as competition. Madrimov's objective, analytical perspective mirrors what many insiders think. Is not like Spence, this is not like Porter. This is a naturally larger man who knows how to make the most of his size advantage.
Like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo will try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour.
Bob Arum knows Crawford better than anyone in the sport. The famed promoter helped launch Crawford's career and has spoken highly of his skills for years, but he isn't backing his former boxer in this one. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, Arum claimed, "I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford was facing Spence that he'd beat the crap out of him, but Canelo is a different story. It's a fight, but I believe there is only one winner. Canelo is used to fighting at a certain level, and I don't think Terence can injure him, but Canelo can." Crawford, according to Arum, may be the most technically intelligent fighter currently working. However, it is not only about skill, it's about the damage. Arum believes Canelo adds significantly more of that to the table.
What do you think of Crawford Canelo? There's a lot of talk about that.
I think Canelo wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him. But Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner. What fight would make the most?
He wipes the floor with him?
What?
Is it because of the weight difference?
Because Canelo, Canelo is used to fighting.
Eddie Hearn, who has worked extensively with Canelo in recent years, thinks the matchup's physicality will be a deciding factor. Hearn told Boxing Social that Crawford is not only near 168, but has already shifted to 154. Prior to it, he was at 147, 140, and 135. "I just think the size is too big." The British promoter noticed that even in Crawford's most recent contest at 154, he did not appear to be physically dominant.
Now, what the media is reporting, and it's circulating, is that Canelo Crawford is the biggest fight of the decade. I mean, to a purist and a fighter, it's laughable. Because you have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight. Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov. Life and death with Madrimov.
Hearn directly mentioned the Israel-Madrimov fight, hinting that Crawford didn't look comfortable against a tough 154-pounder, and now he's supposed to handle a full-fledged 168-pound monster. "I think he struggled against Madrimov, who's a strong 154-pounder, and he'll really feel it in there against Canelo," Hearn told ESPN. Nonetheless, Hearn sees Crawford's genius. He concedes that his movement, cleverness, and ring IQ will cause Canelo significant problems. Despite this, Hearn does not think it will be enough to close the size and power difference.
Are you still favoring Crawford in the fight, or has your opinion changed?
No, I mean, I've always favoured Canelo in the fight.
Well, I've heard that you want Canelo to win, but you feel...
Of course, yeah. I like Terence. I've worked a lot with Canelo, and I think just because of what I saw in Riyadh and because of the threat, and he's getting on as well, Crawford, but it's just like the mindset of Crawford. Like, there's no doubt in Terence Crawford's mind that he wins this fight. And when you spend a bit of time with him, you kind of start buying into that. And I guess that's what happened.
Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez is approaching the fight differently than usual. Anger. Canelo has made the fight personal since their meeting in New York City. This shift in tone could mean that Crawford is getting a more dangerous version of Canelo and the one who boxed peacefully against Golovkin and Ryder.
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Earl Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah, I can make one.
Canelo used his 2021 fight against Billy Joe Saunders as a glimpse of what's to come. Saunders, like Crawford, tried to poke the bear. He boxed well in the early rounds, frustrating Canelo, and appeared to be on his way to an upset. Until Canelo landed a shattering uppercut that broke Saunders' orbital bone. The British fighter quit on the stool after round 8 and has never returned to the ring. Canelo told Fight Hub TV, "It's a little more personal because I respect him, I don't respect him anymore because he stated, "Oh, I'm not going to do what they say," and then he tried it. Perhaps Turki Alalshik advised him, "Hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh." The Mexican star was clearly upset with Crawford's behavior during the pre-fight build-up. When asked how an angry Canelo would approach Crawford, he answered with what looked to be a warning rather than a statement. "You saw Sonda's fight, correct? He turned me off. So it'll be almost the same." Today, September 12th, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. That type of thinking gives a new dimension to this matchup. It's not a chess fight anymore, there might be a hunt. Canelo sees Crawford as someone who has disrespected him and is now entering his area. 168 pounds without natural-sized protection to defend him. Nonetheless, Canelo made sure to recognize Crawford's successes. He knows this isn't simply another title defense. Crawford is arguably the most complete fighter he's ever faced. But, in Canelo's opinion, that doesn't matter much when the size difference is this large and the damage he plans to inflict is personal. He is a warrior, he's a great fighter, but this was one of the best battles of my career. And I believe I will show who I am, Canelo said.
I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's physically kind of big, but height-wise, he's kind of small. So
in an interview with Seconds Out, retired Puerto Rican and former Canelo opponent Miguel Cotto addressed his former rival's forthcoming fight with Crawford. Crawford's skill set has the potential to get Canelo major problems. It's a brief line, yet it holds weight. Cotto knows what it's like to fight Canelo Alvarez, having faced him in November 2015 for the vacant WBC World Middleweight title. That night, Canelo beat Cotto, a unanimous decision.
The only running that I'm going to be doing is running upside his head, and I can assure you that. Facts. And he got a big head, too.
Cotto was already nearing the conclusion of his famous career, yet he still performed admirably and seen enough in the ring to give this warning about Crawford. Cotto goes out of his way to underline Crawford's precise set of skills, suggesting that this isn't all hype. Even Canelo, a seasoned fighter, finds Crawford's style genuinely intimidating. Timothy Bradley, a past champion who is now one of boxing's most outspoken analysts, did not avoid the subject either. He fully expects Crawford to win this fight. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, Bradley made his viewpoint obvious, even hinting at a hidden component that he thinks gives Crawford a significant advantage. "Trust me, I know a secret," he said. That was the line that instantly sparked speculation. If Canelo couldn't knock out Jermall Charlo, do you really think he'll knock out Crawford? "I think Terence Crawford will defeat Canelo Alvarez, even at 168. Anyone can call me insane or whatever they want. I got it. You didn't believe me when I told you about Errol Spence, but trust me, Crawford will find a way." It's more than just help. Bradley's prognosis carries an air of intimate confidence. He made a bold statement before the Spence fight, and few believed him. Now he's doubling down, but with a twist. He claims to have a secret. Something he knows, but isn't disclosing, explains why he's so sure Crawford will win.
In your view, Terence Crawford beats Canelo.
He cooks Canelo. Ooh, really? He beats him. Yes.
Look, if you go back and you watch the fight with Lara, and you can see the same tendencies that Canelo has now, but he's a lot older now. But I just think that Terence have more skills than a Lara, and I think he can do more. And you're saying that, oh, Canelo is a super strong guy. Man, technique. You already know. If you ever wrestled before, the person that got better technique usually win it.
I know a secret that you don't know, and I'm not going to tell you why I picked Terence Crawford, but part of the secret is why I believe he will win the fight. Boxing rarely features such obscure comments, Analysts generally rely on prior performance, statistics, or technical breakdowns. Bradley is suggesting that something is going behind the scenes. Perhaps in camp, in strategy, or in physical condition that fans and pundits have not yet experienced. And he feels it will turn the fight in Crawford's favor. A win would be historic. Crawford would become the first man fighter in history to go undefeated in 3 weight classes. He has already unified 140, he is the current king at 147, and if he wins Canelo at 168, he will enter uncharted ground, even among tales. Terence Crawford, in your view, has the upper hand over Canelo. Canelo cokes, really, he beats him. Yes, look, if you go back and watch the fight with Lara, you'll notice the same traits that Canelo has now, but he's much older. But I believe Terence is more skilled than Lara and capable of doing more. And you're saying, oh, Canelo is a really strong guy. Man, method. Deader technique usually prevails, it does not matter. Roy Jones Jr., one of the most skilled fighters of all time, and someone who easily climbed up through weight categories, gave his unique perspective on the Canelo versus Crawford fight. He downplayed the distractions, such as the face-off scuffle and news conference annex. I don't notice the pushing and shoving at the press meeting. I pay no attention to my weight. What I pay attention to is the degree of expertise showed by both men in and out of the ring. Jones' point of view is important. He understands what it means to climb up in weight while still dominating because he accomplished it himself when the jump looked insurmountable.
It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity. And with Canelo, I see a guy who's not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain.
Crawford is clearly hungry. Crawford, who has been searching for this chance for a long time, is finally receiving it and is fully prepared to seize it. Rowe's view touches on something deeper. Crawford is not battling solely for reputation or money. This is the type of chance that shapes a career. To him, it is the preparation for a destiny meeting. He also sees Canelo differently. With Canelo, I see a fighter who isn't exactly hungry but enjoys entertaining, loves to give us huge fights, always tries to give us big fights, and finds a way to give us big fights. He may not always win, but he always makes an effort to do so for us. There's a subtle difference here. Crawford arrives hungry and eager to show himself. Canelo, on the other hand, has already reached the peak and wants to preserve his reputation. As a fantastic boxer, Crawford may have more to lose and more to give. Jones outlined what he believes to be the genuine X factor. It will all rest on Terence's ability to take his punch. When you're as skilled as Terence Crawford, weight doesn't matter much. The only thing that counts in weight is your ability to take a blow. Every expert, promoter, and fan is asking themselves this question: can Crawford handle Canelo's best shot? Crawford has a clean record and has always looked dominant, but he has never been hit by a fighter like Canelo Alvarez. If he can meet those body shots while still moving, all of his technical tools, movement, timing, and fast counters will become weapons once more. However, if he is unable to take the shots, everything comes crashing down at once.
That's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
I asked this because you did it with Margarito. You went to 54, and people.
Manny Pacquiao, another multi-weight champion and superstar in the sport, didn't go into great detail, but he did make a clear and obvious prediction about Ezekiel Canelo winning this fight, which comes from Pacquiao, whose own career was based on moving up and facing giants. That's a strong view. Pacquiao knows what it is like to take blows from bigger men. He also understands that when the bullets begin to hit, even brilliance cannot compete with size. His choice adds to the chorus of voices supporting Canelo, but it also gives legitimacy to the severity of Crawford's danger. Crawford, however, is not fooled. He's well aware of what he's getting into. Crawford was asked directly in a recent interview with Crawford if he thinks the Mexican champion has passed his prime. Some say Canelo has slowed, listing fights with John Ryder and Dimitri Bivol as evidence. But Crawford's comment was neither dismissive nor arrogant. It was grounded and polite. I would not say that. I want to inspire other fighters. Sleeping giant. The line explains everything. Crawford does not want to catch Canelo falling. He wants the best version, the most driven and dangerous, the one who beat Golovkin, broke Saunders, and punished Plant. But do you believe Crawford can pull it off? Please share your views below and subscribe for future updates.